As we record this episode,
Yeah.
people are then having Thanksgiving. So this is the chance that we get to thank all of our wonderful listeners. But what I wanted to ask you specifically is, are you thankful for anything in particular this
I'm
year? Is there
thankful for
something?
you. I'm thankful for
Oh,
you.
Jesus.
I,
Chatbot Jesus.
do you
Right.
okay? I don't know if you remember this or not. I don't know if you
Okay.
remember this or not. But you actually, I think you pulled it for our 500. You pulled one of the old shows, like episode, like I don't know, 30 something or 50 something or whatever it
Okay.
was. And it was me. It was so cringy. I listened to it and said it was so cringy. It was me going, let me tell you everything I'm thankful for this year. I had my, I had my whole Katharine Hepburn voice on and the whole thing, and it was like, I'm thankful for CMI. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for the world. I'm thankful for joy and love. And it was like, I was just
No,
like,
but
oh,
I
good
think it
Lord.
was on I think it was called
Yeah.
Gratitude.
Oh, it was totally.
It's
It
like
was totally called gratitude. It was totally
Gratitude.
called gratitude, and it was
No,
like
it's called
I
Gratitude by
it was
Jack
like
Candy.
listening to that was like going back to my old high school. I used to have this book of poetry that I had, like from my high school when I would write poetry in my little journal, and I was going back. It felt like going back to my 14-year-old self and viewing my desperate emo poetry.
Oh my
And there you
God.
go. So
But the
there you
thing that
go. Now
really
I'm a cynical 59-year-old man. Get off my cloud.
Oh man, yeah, you got a big birthday coming up. But
I do.
the thing
I
that hit
do.
me the other day, I was doing a podcast and they were introducing me and they reading through the bio and they said, and produces every Friday This Old Marketing with Robert
Oh,
Rose,
oh.
and it said the longest running marketing news podcast on the planet. And I'm like,
Finally. Yes.
and then I'm like, is that a badge of honor or are we just really old? Like
It's
we've s-
both. It's
we it's
both.
I don't think it's because we're great. I think it's just we're
We're
survivors.
persistent. Yeah. Yeah.
We're
We need t-shirts to say they persisted.
I think we get persistent t-shirts.
They
Matching
persist.
persistent t-shirts.
That's the new tagline for
No,
the
I'll
show.
be persistent, you be anti-persistent.
No, that's the new tagline for the show. This Old Marketing, they persist.
And now, for your listening pleasure, here's Polizzi and Rose, covering the week of media, marketing, and digital content news. Take it away, boys.
Hello, friends. Welcome to This Old Marketing, proudly brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. And I'm Robert Rose. And with me, as usual, is my pal, my colleague, and a guy who would never throw the ball into the dirt for a bribe, Mr. Joe Polizzi.
Oh, you did not.
Yes, I did.
You didn't do that.
Oh, you have to
Yeah,
explain to the audience that joke. You have to
oh
explain to
man.
people
And you know what's sad?
going on.
Okay.
And
So
what I totally love about that joke is that it hits you in particular because of your take on gambling and where things are right now. But it's also
in two ways. Well,
Yeah.
so the news blurb on that is Emmanuel Clase and another pitcher on the Guardians. Since 2023, they were involved in a gambling ring, if you would, and based on the pitch that they would throw.
First pitches, right? The first.
So
pitch
before
of the game?
Clase, basically one of the examples is before Clase, who is at one time the greatest, the most effective reliever in the game, closer in the game.
Yeah.
He would text one of his contacts and say, "You ready?" And then the first pitch would be an egregious ball.
Yeah.
And people were betting on not only that it would be less than like 97 miles an hour, but also be a ball.
Right.
And he got some kickback from it. And so this is we don't know. Like, I don't know why he did this.
Yeah.
Because he was making millions of dollars and he's getting thousands of dollars in kickbacks.
Right. It's like
I think total he made $12,000.
Right.
So like there's a conspiracy theory that the mafia was involved and was like
pressuring
was he coerced to do this? But the personal take, the reason why I'm so injured right now that you bring this up is that he was my favorite player.
Yeah.
I have multiple Class A jerseys, shirts. and he had panache, and his walkout song, and the when he came out in progressive field, everything would go dark and then red, like, and it would be fireman, Mr. Fireman, fireman, and like we're getting all excited. The fireman gonna put the fire out, and I was like, yes. And you get chills. See, right now I'm getting chills.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Now there's no more fireman.
Is he done? Do you think he's done? Do you think it's all done?
So they're both Clase and Ortiz are something possible 64 years in prison because of this.
Oh my gosh.
So this is more than just, hey, he's banned from the game.
Yeah,
but they're likely lifetime bans.
Yeah.
From the game. So this is really not good.
Yeah.
And by the way, and to your other point, it goes back to
there's too much gambling in sports.
There's too much gambling. Yeah. But what they've done is I think that the different platforms are saying you can only bet up to $200 on a per pitch bet now because of this happening. So they've all lowered it where if you do this, so they don't want the temptation for it to happen again. I think they need to get rid of all those types of bets.
Yeah. Where the kickoff is going to go in the football game.
Exactly. All that stuff.
Who's going to win the coin toss? Who's going to, I mean, it's all so,
because I am concerned. Like, and I don't, I'm sure he's just an idiot and he did these things or he's got a problem and prayers be with him or whatever it is. But
Ohtani's guy, right? So for the Dodgers, right? Ohtani's translator got caught doing this, and it's not. Now he wasn't necessarily doing anything where he was betting on Ohtani and his performance, but he was $250,000 or $300,000 in debt to gamblers and all of that, and it was a huge scandal here in Los Angeles. So
yeah, but like if you have access like he did. Like you're like, hey, Shohei, can you take the first pitch?
Right. Yeah.
And so that I mean, those are the types of things that cannot happen and infect any sports. So
that's right.
I would like to get those. Like, okay, you're going to bet on the games. You're going to bet on overall performance, but like not on one play.
That's right.
I think it becomes way too easy.
Yeah, it's too much of a video game. So
thank you for starting off this special Thanksgiving episode with your BS.
This is what I do, my friend. This is what I do. All for you. I do it all for you. We do have a special episode, by the way. We have a special episode. We'll see how long we go. But we're going to talk about AI and sort of the state of AI in 2025 as we get closer to 2026. It's hard to believe, but basically a month away from 2026, which is just
that's crazy. I feel like we've only just begun.
That's right. That's right. Well, we are, as we said in the show opening, we're old. We're old now, and there's a get off my lawn aspect to all this, or
see our field of F's.
Yeah, or you can see it as we're wise like Yoda, right? We're bringing the OG of influencers, Mr. Yoda, to bear. And we're gonna.
God, now I really feel old.
Do or do not. There is no try.
That's a good one.
I can do a pretty good Yoda.
That's a good. You don't bring it out enough.
I don't.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, it's there. I could do Yoda, and we could do the whole show. I'll do Yoda, and I'll do
Elmo.
Elmo, yeah.
Oh my God, that would be so. It's like.
We got a special AI episode today.
Elmo, purple humor.
Okay, we apologize.
Right.
Everybody just it's like, at what point in the episode did people tune out? Oh, it was
here's the thing. What's going to happen is that we have some very lovely, talented people who edit our stuff into YouTube shorts for our YouTube channel. You just know they're going to screw with us and make that the YouTube short.
They always pick the ones where we're really weird at, which I guess is the way.
The thing I have a problem with is that they always pick me with my face like
I'm like, how did I don't even remember you doing that during the show, but apparently your mouth is a gape.
My mouth is a gape
all the time.
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah. So, okay, how does this work?
So here's how it worked. Basically, you and I did not talk about any of these topics, so there may be some overlap, but we basically decided to pick each of us 3 topics around the state of marketing and AI. as I said last week, we're kind of putting on our Marketing AI Institute, their podcast, Paul Reitzer and Mike Kaput's sort of hats, and talk about what we think about the state of AI at the end of 2025 and in marketing and content creation and all the things, and just have a bit of a chat about it. And again, we'll see how long we go. We may not go the full hour. We may go a full hour. You never know with us. So there you go. So so we'll trade off topics. Maybe you go first and kick us off with whatever you're thinking about.
I'm gonna go first, and that I've been on this 3-year window kick. I have speeches about it. I've been doing many articles about it, and so those people that haven't read my stuff, shame on you. You should connect with me on LinkedIn. But I've been talking about the fact that we have a 3-year window, and this came a lot from Christopher Penn and Brian Piper and conversations that in that time period, a majority of the content we get will be synthetically created. And of course, we're seeing a lot of synthetically created text already because we use ChatGPT and Claude and those types of things and Perplexity. But we're going to see that more with audio and video, where our devices, like our cars and our glasses and our phones, will be just on demand per the situation that they'll be able to read, will be giving us this information. And that means that discovery goes away, that direct content creation in a lot of cases is in trouble. And what do we do? So that's the setup. My number one is, I think my 3-year window is shrinking faster than I thought.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So, so the more I see what's actually going on, I believe we've got less than that 3 years. And I think we already might be halfway to it. I think platforms are training models on the content. They're surfacing AI first answers. We already know that. They're tightening their control. The audiences find information. If you don't believe it, just go to your Facebook feed and you'll see what crap we're being thrown at.
Sure.
So the question I keep coming back to is, what are creators and marketers supposed to do with that right now, knowing that how we have traditionally in the digital world been able to get discovery, build audiences, when that goes away entirely and the algorithm is in control. I think I thought that 3 years was tight, and when I say 3 years, everybody's like, oh my God, what do we do? I think it might be too much time. I think it's going to be less.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you could be right. You could be right. I think I'm more aligned with your 3-year window than I am any shorter than that. And the only reason I say that is because I believe there will be externalities that slow down that pace. And what I mean by that is, I feel like soon enough, and next year will be a really interesting year because it's an election year. It'll be an interesting year to see where the economy is, post everything that's going on right now.
Yeah.
I think people are going to be, 2026 feels to me like it's going to be a year of distraction. And so I think a lot of the business as usual stuff is just going to be business as usual for another year. So I think I'm seeing 26 as sort of a continuation of what we're seeing this year. A lot of distraction, a lot of external noise, and mostly under the covers, sort of just like, let's just pay attention to business as usual and not really get to the place that you're talking about in good and bad ways. Right. So then you go, okay, well then what is it 2 years? And then you go, well, it probably takes 2 years after that. Right. So my feel is that all that sort of combines into sort of a bubble pop, if you will, in that 3-year time frame. And that's when you start to feel what you're talking about. I think what you're feeling, what you're talking about. And my answer to your, what do you do about it, comes back to the thing that I've been talking about for the last year and a half, which is, and the thing that I wrote a book on, which is that idea of valuable friction, and where I talk about that thought leadership and or content leadership is going to people are going to stop following content. They're going to start following people. It doesn't matter what those people are saying. It's going to be not an asymmetry of information, not an asymmetry of content that you have. It's an asymmetry of relationships. And so what do you do about it? Build your relationships with your audience, with your customers, with your partners, with your colleagues. that asymmetry of community is going to be what defines the content creator in 3 years.
Yeah, you got into some of my other ones, which I don't want to necessarily. Right. So let's. I love your take on that. Yeah. I'll build on it in a second, but I want to get to your first one.
Okay.
Because I'm going this way. Do you see I wear my puffy jacket?
Yeah. You're wearing your jacket. Are you wearing your cargo shorts with your sandals with your socks?
Hey, Mr. Puffy Vest. I'm a little puffy vest. I'm sorry. This is 4 cups of coffee today.
Yeah. I'm on my third. I'm on my third. So
this is what happens when we do special episodes. You never know how you're gonna get it.
I know it's your Jeff Bezos vest, really, is what it is.
Did you see that Elon called him like a pencil neck nerd?
Dude, when are we just gonna stop talking about Elon? I just, it's like I feel like the more we talk about him, it's like it's sort of like Elon, right? He's like Beetlejuice, right? It's just literally.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to talk more about Elon. Did you see the $1 trillion the setup that he's getting? Because
it's not. So this is okay. So
it would be based on the shares that he's getting and the different tranches over time.
This is the thing. Yes, this is the thing that I've been ranting about the last 3 weeks in a row, which is this news story by story rather than what's really happening here, right? This is the, OpenAI makes $100 million deal with WPP. And it's like, no, they didn't. They bought some enterprise software that over the course of 10 years, they might pay $10 million for. It's nothing big here, but the story is it's huge. It's huge. It's got to be huge. And so this is so annoying. This thing, this $1 trillion deal. It's like,
you're here. You needed a separate podcast called The Marketing Curmudgeon.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That would work.
This is not a $1 trillion deal. He's not a trillionaire yet. He's not. I mean, he's got more money than God. I mean, he's. There's no doubt the man is the richest man in the world. But having said that, there's no $1 trillion deal here because this would be like I was actually going to do a press release on this, and I was going to say I have announced my own Seventh Bear $1 trillion compensation package for when I take Seventh Bear to rule the world in submitting widgets for a manufacturer. When I sell my 1,000,000th widget in the world, that's when I'm going to give myself that $1 trillion, which is coming in the next 10 years. I promise.
All right. So here's my separate question on this.
Yeah.
What's after $1 trillion? Is it a zillion?
No, it's quadrillion.
A quadrillion?
Quadrillion, yeah.
Because we're really starting to throw around the trillions a lot, especially with AI. It's trillion this, trillion that. So I'm like, it's becoming so normal to just, I mean, trillion is a lot of money when you say trillion.
It's the difference between a billion and a trillion amount of money. It's an unfathomable amount of money.
You can't even when you say, oh, this amount of money stacks up goes to the moon, and this amount, it's like it goes to the next solar system, whatever it is. But I just was wondering. So we're gonna have to say quadrillion, and then multi-quadrillion, and then hexatrillion, and then zillion trillion,
right,
and then zillion.
It's something like there was a stat I saw, which is basically puts it into context for you, is if a million is 3 years, right? Basically, if you got $1 million, if you got a whatever it is, a dollar a day or whatever it is, it's like a million is 3 years. It's something, I'm not getting this wrong. $1,000 a day maybe is 3 years, and then $1 billion is 32 years, and then $1 trillion is 32,000 years. Oh, you know what I mean? God. It's like people don't. It's an unfathomable amount of money that $1 trillion.
So here's my last question: how do we get to $1 trillion if they're not making any more pennies?
Well, that's the whole point. That's yeah. I know. I mean,
no more pennies for you.
Yeah,
they're gonna take it out of existence. We're gonna have to go to 0 or 5.
Yes,
because there's no more pennies.
There's no more pennies.
What do we do?
Who got the last penny? Did you see the news? We're so off the rails right now, but did you see that they pressed? There was a big news conference where they actually pressed the last penny, but then it cut away before they said, "Well, who got it? Who gets the last penny?"
You know who gets it? Somebody that's going to go to like an amusement park and then put it through one of those cranks.
I think they're going to put it in the Trump ballroom. Is what they're going to put it.
Do you think they'll have one of those in the White House? Because I used to collect those little flat pennies.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you can say, oh, this is Universal Park, and this is Valley Forge, and you're going all these places, and I've got all these little flat pennies. They're in the shape of footballs because they smashed them down.
That's right.
This is okay. What is your AI prediction?
Yeah. Let me go to my first AI prediction here. Shall I do that?
Yes.
Okay. So my first AI prediction is around, well, it's very relatable to you know what you talked about, right? What you talked about with regard to the, you know, sort of, I guess AI slop is really what we're talking about here. Is that kind of what we're
Well, I don't know if
about?
I don't think it becomes, I think today it's AI slop. I don't think it becomes AI slop. I believe the content is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it's
So
going to be personalized, and it's going to fit exactly your need and pain point. And you're not going to care who the creator is. You just want the information, and you're going to get it.
So my tension, I guess, is the sort of my thing that I want to talk about is the sort of tension that exists right now that between the two narratives. The two narratives are AI is going to free up marketers and basically knowledge workers to do these wonderful, creative, strategic things. That's the narrative coming out of all of the models, right? So whether it's Adobe, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's OpenAI, Meta, they're all sort of saying the same thing. If you integrate this, you're going to free up your people to do strategic, more creative things. And then the narrative on the other side, the sort of business side, is the pressure to say, how do we replace the humans with AI? And sort of there's this mix in between where the tools and the technology, the value that you're getting sold is whatever feels like the right narrative in that moment. And it's like they couldn't be more like polar opposites of each other. And the interesting thing to me is like, where is that, you know, and I wrote about this a while back, like, where is the bottom of that, right? Because everybody says, well, it'll free up marketers to be more strategic and creative. But that's until the AI can do what you're saying it can do, which is it won't be AI slop anymore. It'll actually be fantastically wonderful stuff. So why would I need somebody creative and strategic at all? Like, why don't I just need one person who can put on a pair of, you know, vibe coding or vibe marketing glasses and sort of run a bunch of agentic AI as my entire marketing team? That sort of mythical business, billion-dollar business of one kind of thing where everything's run through an agentic AI idea, and I don't need people anymore. So freeing them up to be, and then of course you go, okay, well, but that runs afoul of the licensing scheme of how we actually license software from all of these companies. So they actually sell it by the seat, they sell it by the person. So wait a minute, how many licenses do I need? Wait a minute, how do I price it? How do I actually get this to it? And there's this sort of very, very conflicted set of ways that we're looking at the value that's going to be brought to marketing with AI right now. And what's happening is that it's not freeing up marketers to do anything. All it's doing is industrializing mediocrity at the moment. And so the quicker, and I'm seeing it in all my clients and all the, you know, workshops that I'm doing, I am seeing basically this happen in real time. Marketers are really feeling the pressure. They're really feeling the pressure from their senior leadership teams to get quote unquote good and use AI for content creation, thus speeding up the content production process, thus removing the friction from actually getting more and more content out there, thus showing more output, thus sort of meeting the KPIs of more output and trying to do that and win quote unquote the race. And then I'm seeing the senior leadership outsource their brains to ChatGPT to say, what are these great ideas that we're going to have our content team create? And they're basically, so there's this internal loop that's almost separating itself in the content lifecycle, which is the idea comes from ChatGPT, now seamlessly goes into another tool to actually get expressed by the content team as AI generated content, which then finally goes through some human in the loop that's actually using as sort of a glorified human spell check. And then on we're using AI to sort of optimize that and create it, et cetera, et cetera. And we're losing all the creativity. And we are basically hastening that flatness that you keep talking about, that you're talking about. So where I buy into your 3 years becoming 2 years is if we keep letting things go the way they're going to go, we're going to get there. Businesses and marketing teams are going to get there very, very quickly.
I have a take on multiple fronts with what you just said.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk about, this is something I was talking to this on a podcast earlier this week, and they said, where are the future jobs in marketing? And my first response was, there are none. I mean, and that's a very negative, and I hate that answer. But that's,
I don't love that answer either.
I don't love the answer either. But honestly, but if I have to be honest with myself, and I believe, yes, you're right. You look at it right now. Lots of AI slop, lots of really bad decisions happening with AI. But I think what we're being led down the, and I don't think wrongfully. I think we're being led down this path that says we got to experiment in AI. We got to get smarter at this. To your point, so we can be more strategic and get rid of the stuff that is mundane and whatever. And ultimately, we keep doing that and doing that and doing that, and then there's no job. There will be no job. Marketing is on the front line of just getting rid of all the jobs, because if we believe that AI is going to be as good as it is, and if it's a million people and a million ideas wrapped in one, and I have access to this, it's just math, patterns, and an understanding of human psyche. I mean, really, that's all we're going to be putting in. I think it is creative, it is differentiated. So I have a very negative, obviously maybe the most negative, about the profession, because I don't know how marketing in 5 years becomes,
here's how it becomes
differentiated.
No, I have an answer for that.
No.
I have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Which is, if you believe, and I do, and again, I'm as glass is half full or glass is fully full as anybody there is. I tilt at windmills daily. So my belief is that if we believe in that asymmetry of relationships, in other words, the value, the differentiated value, the competitive advantage is going to be in the asymmetry of relationships that you have with your customers, your audiences, et cetera. Those relationships are people to people.
Yes.
And so it is establishing those relationships between people, which lends itself to the idea of saying, the more people we have that can facilitate those relationships and be the other side of that relationship is a competitive advantage. In other words, having a marketing team that has the capacity to maintain relationships with customers at a personal level becomes the new competitive advantage. And outsourcing the button pushing and video game and performance marketing of pushing buttons on marketing automation platforms and dashboards and CRM systems and all of that, that's the stuff that those are the tasks that get associated with AI. And if that's the case, you make a business case to say, what we're hiring for in the future, if I'm a business and I'm hiring my marketing team, are those people who can create relationships and maintain relationships with a broader network of people, my customers, my partners, my colleagues, and so they have the human ability to create those relationships, and less of the sort of digital skills of pushing buttons and calculating and doing all of the things that AI is good to do. The problem is that right now, we are seen mostly as just copywriters or just writers. And the hard part of AI, the part that AI really struggles with, is the button pushing and actually automation of tasks and stuff like that. It's like you look at the OpenAI browser and it's supposed to do all these things for you, and everybody sort of jokes about it. It's like, no, I'm not leaving that unsupervised, because that is ridiculous. But that's the ideal, right? The ideal is that it's taking care of the laundry, the dishwashing, the shopping of the kitchen sink, and then leaves us to go paint and create awesome relationships with audiences. That's the ideal. But in order to do that, you got to have people to do that. You can't do that with AI. That's an opportunity, I think, not necessarily a foregone conclusion.
I think you're absolutely right. And it goes into my next one, which fits right into what you're saying, because I know we want to probably do an ad break, but I think that's where the fundamental philosophy of what a marketer does will completely change. That's where I don't think a lot,
for sure.
And I don't think it's like we're not doing lead gen, and we're not doing testing, and we're not doing those types of things. We're doing real human to human contact in the field in a lot of ways.
Experiential. We talked about that last show.
And I don't think a lot of marketers understand. You're not going to be behind a desk.
I think that's right.
You're going to be outside.
Events,
you're going to look a lot more like a salesperson. is what a marketer is.
Yeah, or an influencer or a creator or those kinds of things. 100%. I believe that 100%.
I like
which
that.
changes the skill set of marketing into a much more human relationship one. Unfortunately, the get good at AI and get good at digital sort of squashes that idea. So we may end up, and this is where I really get on my soapbox, is we're right now in a future, and the research we got back from CMI this year was really disheartening in this fact, where training, like human skill training, the sort of softer skills as they call them, the relationship building, leadership skills, strategy skills, all those budgets of upskilling and development of people and hiring, that's the last item on the budget priority list for 2026, which is just, it's so disheartening to see that. And number one is like, how do I outsource more of my skills to ChatGPT? And so I keep coming back to this. It's like, if you want to get good at something, like if you want to get good at AI, go get good at the thing that you need to get good at. Get good at meeting with people, get good at strategy, get good at creativity, get good at speaking, get good at all of the things that are human soft skills. And then AI can help you amplify and delegate all the shit that doesn't matter. But that's not the direction we're going right now. And that's my biggest tension right now is that it's, it's the reason I get up and rant so much about this, because that's it. There's this huge opportunity, this invitation that AI technology is giving us, and we're not taking it.
I love that. Let's do a break.
Yeah, let's do an ad.
And I'll come back and I'll do my second one. Which
I don't need love. I need a newsletter.
I don't code, baby, but I sure as hell convert. Started with a pod test and a 4-track hum. No funding, no filters, just rhythm and rum. They said, doll, stay true, don't go selling your soul. But truth don't fund that conversion goal. I'm just paying the bills with a drip campaign and a voice that chills. If you hear HubSpot while I bat my eyes, that's not betrayal, sugar, it's enterprise. Yeah, I'm paying the bills with a branded feed and some back-end thrills. So if I sell dreams on a subdomain, just remember, darling, it's the uptime game. This ain't code, it's performance art with a branded plugin and a counterfeit heart. They said don't scale too fast, what a bore, baby, I scale with jazz and a metaphor. Still paying the bills, got a syndication deal and some zero frills. If I break your heart with a CTA, just click accept and scroll away.
Being a know-it-all used to be considered a bad thing. But in business, it's everything. Because right now, most businesses only use 20% of their data. Unless you have HubSpot, where data that's buried in emails, call logs, and meeting notes, well, they become insights that help you grow your business. Because when you know more, you grow more. You see, being a know-it-all isn't so bad. Visit HubSpot.com today to learn more. Are you looking for a podcast that goes against the grain? Then you're going to love Marketing Against the Grain, hosted by Kip Bodnar and Kieran Flanagan, brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network. If you want to know what's happening now in marketing, what's ahead, and how you can lead the way, this is the podcast for you. These two marketing experts share their marketing expertise unfiltered in the details, the truth, and like nobody tells it to you. You can find Marketing Against the Grain wherever you find your favorite pods.
still paying the bills. Got a syndication deal and some zero frills. If I break your heart with a CTA, just click accept and scroll away. I don't need love. I've got a newsletter.
That's
Lovely.
the future of AI right now.
Let's build on, we're closer than we think in our what's going on. I mean, I really do believe that for example, as I was thinking of, so at Macon, amazing event, did a great job talking about how to do all the AI stuff. I thought there should be a whole track on human to human communications.
Yeah, I agree.
And as the future of marketing will be less and less you using AI and doing all these other things. So it goes into, I'm going to build off of what we've been saying, but my number 2 was being known in marketing or as a creator might be the only real moat left. So as platforms, recreate content patterns that we're getting, and you may be getting synthetic creators that you're following, whatever, it'll be harder and harder to be known online as an individual and a marketer. So I really feel within this window, we need to make sure that we leverage the in-person aspect that you're talking about more than anything else. So that means that we have to have a strategic look at the events that we're going to. When we go to those events, what are we doing? And I was like, even as a creator, if you're an introvert, you don't want, you need to set up coffee meetings. You need to go to you need to meet with the speakers you want to meet with. You have to go there specifically to form interpersonal relationships. And then if you are known, you have that is your safety. That by being known out there in the world, in your industry, having some expertise, being able to contact you individually as the person, because that's all going to be lost in the algorithm online. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I think it just builds on what you're saying. That
it does.
The marketer, content creator is a new skill base. Yeah. And whether it's experiential events, like we were talking about with last episode with Netflix and Disney, we have to focus on what that is for us in our industries as marketers running the brand, or as individual creators trying to run a business.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, my take on that is that, and this is a whole chapter of my book where I talk about the question is, what happens when everybody knows everything? Because for decades, centuries, the definition of competitive advantage in leadership, right? Full on leader, just take it to the next, the next level, not just thought leadership and content, but just leadership full stop. The definition of that was you had an asymmetry of information. Basically, you knew stuff that nobody else knew, and they needed to get that from you. And 2, you could sort of, for lack of a better word, charm or riz or whatever you want to call it. Basically, you could tell that story better than anybody, right? You could basically get people to follow you against the information that you had that nobody else had. That's the president of the United States. That's the leader and the CEO. That was it. Now in a place where knowledge is, basically everybody knows everything, because you've got a tool to basically all of the knowledge, and you can basically find it at a click. That goes away. So where does leadership go? Well, leadership goes then to that ability to establish relationships with people. And you can see it happening. You can see it happening in business even today, even with zero click and all the things that are going on with search. What's happening is that the brand voice is losing relevance. The brand voice is becoming the same because every brand is basically the same. Every messaging is the same. You can't have competitive advantage, because the difference between you and the next competitor is literally an AI prompt away. But what is different is the people inside it. So you see everybody from Fortune 500 companies to small startups basically elevating the personalities and the relationships of their senior leadership, right? The CEO, the CMO, the head of product, the head of information, the portfolio manager, the marketing manager, all of those people who are basically the personalities and contain the relationships, the head of sales, that becomes the competitive advantage. And just to your point, if you're known for that, if you're well known for that, well known for being a human in that, then interacting with that provides value. That interaction provides value. And your brand comes along for the ride in that. And so it really elevates that way, exactly what you're saying, the importance of becoming a known quantity instead of sort of just a widget in the machine.
My only I don't disagree with you. My only concern is I think there's going to be a temporary period where all that's wiped out. Because all those jobs go away temporarily, because that's the efficiency part. That's the, hey, less employees, more revenue per employee. We don't value the employee. We value this business model. We're going to move forward, and you're going to see a lot of people lose their jobs. The ones who will come back from this, from the ashes, if you will, are the ones I think that can have these relationships. But I think if you work for a large company in marketing, I think you could pretty much expect that the job that you're doing right now in 3 years is not there.
Here's it's not a disagreement with you, but it's a how it happens, not if it happens. Because I don't disagree that that's a challenge, a concern. My disagreement is that it will not be a pendulum swing. It will rather be those that make the choice to actually start this now that will emerge from the darkness, if you will. Rather, it's very similar to the .com, right? The ones that survived the .com boom and bust were the ones that took the time to build long-term value through building infrastructure and really understanding the long-term value of what it was, instead of sort of the gold rush of efficiency or the gold rush of, being able to fake it till you make it kind of thing. And so you look at the winners that came out of the eBays and the Amazons, et cetera, that were all considered, sort of right there on the top of the .com boom. They invested in the infrastructure and the long-term game to actually emerge the winners. So I think it's an emergence of those that make the right choices early on. And maybe, yes, some of them will actually screw up and fire everybody and then have to rehire everybody. But the ones I think that are going to create the competitive advantage are the ones that are going to see that early and be able to withstand the big wind that's coming.
So based on exactly what you said, here's the issue. If you just add on AI and say, get better at AI, we're adding this layer on to marketing. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be hurting big
100%. Yes.
Like I think that that's
right. That's exactly right.
We've talked about it on the show. I saw that happen when I was in B2B publishing. If you just added the digital, so you were in a print environment and you just added the digital, website, check the box. Web article, check the box. Link to print magazine, check the box. Those companies went away. And then a new type of company, new business model came out in the 07, 08, 09, early 10s, a new media company that were digital first. They changed everything about how they build an audience, how they staff it and everything. And those went on to survive. And those legacy ones still to this day are having a tough problem if they even exist anymore. So I think that's where you have to right now say, I don't think you can hesitate. I think you have to say, what is the new model now? We have to focus. And I think you've said that, like, we have to focus on relationships now. We can't do this slow drip into becoming this AI thing and then we're gone.
Or get caught up in the gold rush, right? It's how do we actually, there is no first mover advantage here. There is none. There's no first mover advantage in being how fast you can deploy AI here. There's just not, because it commoditizes everything. It democratizes everything when it comes to content and knowledge and information, et cetera, et cetera. So any lead you get by being a first mover advantage and trying to take the fast road here is going to be lost very quickly by the fast followers that come behind you.
So do you think that there is a significant disadvantage to those companies that run AI first and say, I'll take all the employees, just get better at AI, keep experimenting, get better at AI? Is that a downside? Could that company be the ones that take out their marketing department first
I think the ones that are going to take out their marketing department first are the ones that are so one of the things that I got asked this by an investor the other day when I was on a call, and they said, what is the one question that you ask CMOs or CEOs to understand their philosophy of marketing? And I said, it's a great question. And I actually have I think a pretty good answer for that, because it is something that I actually ask, which is you ask you ask a CMO or a CEO, when was the last time the company made a business decision not related to marketing that the actual insight came from marketing? And in other words, new product, new infrastructure, new business model, new acquisition, a business strategy decision that was made from a marketing insight that's non-marketing related. And the answer is that you usually get not like never or years ago or whatever. And that tells you everything you need to know about the function of marketing, the strategy of marketing, and how much it's respected in the business. Because that's the real function of marketing, is to give you the ability to understand the business strategy. And so those that are focused on marketing as a tax, right? Basically, marketing is just a tax we have to pay in order to acquire customers. Those are going to be the ones that are always looking for efficiency and always are going to jump into the pressure and go AI first, or AI only, and shit can all their marketing people, because an AI, the promise of technology is going to be that they can vibe code their way out of this. And those are going to be the ones that fall the fastest and the furthest, I think.
All right. Do you have I think we've covered a lot of
we've covered all of mine.
I think we've covered all of them. Is there another one that we should talk about in the mix here?
Here's what I'll end with, because I have this as it's a part of one of mine, but it's actually a call, which is my ranting and ravings can often come across as like anti-AI, like I don't want to use it. I don't think it's valuable, et cetera, et cetera. And I just want to be clear that I do think it's great. And I do think it's an incredibly valuable and honestly magical tool. I'm always super impressed with the things that it can do. And I guess my encouragement is that if we take the time to see AI as the invitation to slow down and get better at what it is we do as humans, whatever that thing is for you, right? Whether it's painting, songwriting, marketing, strategy, business, accounting, legal, whatever that thing is, AI is such a huge invitation for us to go, take a breath and actually, why are we in such a hurry? Where are we going? So we've reached peak speed in this country, in this world, where fast is conflated with value. And we've got to the point where it's just like, we just can't go any faster without losing some of the quality of life that we have. And the AI is such a wonderful invitation to go deeper, to go more creative, and it's such a great invitation. So I think, for me anyway, this is a really amazing tool set that is, honestly, in my own work, it's helping me do more things at a deeper and better level, because I can take the time to actually do them at the level that I want to do them in, and learn and become a student again, and become, all the things that I really enjoy about the work. And that, to me, that's the pro case for AI that so few are actually taking.
I think it's a good way to kind of leave off. I keep giving people advice is just find your joy. This is a really good opportunity. With all the stuff that's going wrong, we think that's going wrong in society, in our particular countries, whatever the case is, we still live in a magical time.
We do.
And I think we need to have that, as you said, like we started the show with gratitude on this Thanksgiving-ish episode.
I didn't go cringe. There you go.
No, but I think that, look, life is short. And our careers as marketers and creators are short as well. So there's no time like the present to lean into the thing that gives you joy.
I love that.
That where you can serve other people and make other people's lives better in some way. And I think that is what my hope is for the future of marketing, because all these AI tools are around. So I guess that's what I would
Yeah, I have rekindled my passion for making music again because of AI, and it's just one example. Yeah,
I'm writing more than I've ever.
Yeah,
written
me too.
before,
Me too.
Because of some of the brainstorming that I've been doing with my chatbot, which is named Leo, by the way. Leo.
Yeah, it's not Jesus.
Not chatbot Jesus. I just no. And it'd be Jesus, I think, in that case, but absolutely. So, anyways, but yeah, as just wanted to again thank everyone for listening.
Thank you all for being amazing
that we're allowed to
into
keep
your
doing
ears.
This show. Doing this show, and I guess that's it. I'll let you.
That's it. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. For those who celebrate, for sure. For those of you who are in Europe, enjoy the few days off from annoying Americans and the news coming out of this country. So enjoy the break that hopefully will come for you. And so until we see you again, we will have a regular show for you at the day after Thanksgiving. We're not taking a week off. We are unlike some of those other podcasts out there that sort of take the holiday week off. Not us. We're going to be working next week, and we will have a podcast and a regular show for you next Friday for you to eat your turkey sandwich and listen to from home or from wherever you are in the world. And until we see you again next week, just remember, everybody, it's your story to tell. Tell it well. See you next week on This Old Marketing. Hey, thanks a lot for making it this far in this week's episode, and thank you all for being a part of This Old Marketing. You can check out all the show notes of what we talked about today at thisoldmarketing.com, and it's also where you can leave us a review or a voicemail. We need those reviews and comments on whichever platform you follow us on. And if you haven't followed the podcast, please go do that and make sure you catch the latest and greatest episodes every Friday morning. We're on Apple and Spotify and all your other favorite podcatchers, of course, but we'd love it if you went over and subscribe to us on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. youtube.com/@thisoldmarketing. We'll see you again next week, folks, with another episode of This Old Marketing.